I was supposed to in Germany. I don't know how in Czech. I the all the experiences that I've had is that you get a furnished apartment and you just move into the apartment, and when you leave, okay, if you've damaged something, then you pay for it, whatever, you know. But here it's typically the case that there are furnished apartments, but a lot of the time it's also that the apartments are originally empty and people buy the furniture for the apartment and it just keeps getting passed on when a new person comes in. But this is very privately organized. So at any point, the people that are renting the apartment, the company can say, listen, we want to renovate now and we want the apartment empty again. So
Uh-huh.
the last person with the furniture has to now empty the apartment, and I just so happen to be the lucky person that has to got stuck with the hot potato and has to empty the apartment now because I'm moving to another city, and so I'm trying to sell everything on eBay. And my good Wi-Fi is still in this apartment, so because I knew that I'll be here today for the selling part, I thought we could record it now. Otherwise, it'll be choppy in the other apartment, the new
Yeah,
apartment. So I thought, okay, I'll get it sold, and then we'll have time at like, I don't know, 3, 4, and then we'll do it. But then, these people come and go. It's so random. They text 5 minutes before. They don't come. They come and look at it. They don't like it. It's all chaos. So anything can happen.
I see. So this is still your old place.
Yeah, this is still my old place.
Okay. All right. And when you sell the stuff, does the money just go to you since you got
Yeah, so I bought
part?
the stuff technically because from the last person I took over everything for a
Oh yeah.
fixed
Okay.
price.
There was a price for.
Yeah, but that's also including the kitchen, everything. So even the kitchen, the inbuilt kitchen, the stove, the oven, and everything is actually not a part of the apartment in its original form.
Okay. Amazing.
Someone in the 1700s or something that rented the apartment bought it and installed it, and then it's been generationally sold, sold, sold till lucky me took everything over, and now I have to sell it to someone. So it's like random people came and dismantled my bed and took it half an hour ago. Now I'm trying to sell the kitchen and the washing machine and fridge and stuff.
Okay. Are you sitting on a chair or are you just standing there?
No, this this is my self-made standing work desk station thing. So it's basically
Wondering whether they also took the chair, so do the standing.
yeah, like I start off the whole recording sitting, and then as they take my chair, I have to stand and then get dismantled as we go.
Will you edit this in any way?
The thing is, I have to because my whole thing was I'm just gonna put it on YouTube to store it there, so I don't have to save space on my hard drives and things like that. But then I thought if I'm putting it on YouTube anyway, then might as well present it as like an episode. It would be, just it'll be confined, so it'll be at least enjoyable to watch. So I just put like an intro and an outro, and I just put the thing sandwiched in between raw. Not
Okay.
at all because I have no idea how to edit a video, but purely as a creative choice.
Okay.
But I do I clip parts of it as well because if I think okay we talked about that one time and I want to listen to just that part, I would just put out a separate video with just that conversation. If there's a topic with a beginning and an end that we discussed, then I would clip it and put it out as well. But that's whenever I get time later. But mostly my main thing is just to have the whole conversation um, just posted raw, but just with an intro and an outro. And someone messages me.
Okay.
Okay, good. Something about the washing machine. And what about you? How was your day today?
I mean, for a mom on maternity leave, I'm still quite busy. Surprisingly so. So I have every morning I do a to-do list and then I just try to work through it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but today I'm doing quite well. I mean, I have done most of the things.
Mm-hmm.
Now then in my to-do list is just Gotham and the call. And then I have an evening off for which I would really love to open a book. So far so good. Yeah.
What did you end up watching yesterday? You said you wanted to. Oh, you watched? Did you watch all the Shreks and all the?
No, no. In the end, we actually did not. We started watching animated movie Robots, but we did not finish because we had to go to bed soon. Dom is at work quite often now. Have returned back to 24-hour shifts, so it has been demanding. He has already done like 5 of those since the beginning of the year.
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
He's had 5 shifts in 12 days.
Yeah. Yeah. Today is the fifth.
That's
So
insane. That's a lot.
yeah. So we try to go to sleep early so he gets at least some sleep and some sense of a regime when he's home. So we did not finish that one, and that's pending. We will probably finish it up tomorrow once he comes back home. And I did not manage to watch all the fairy tales that I wanted to. God knows why. I was going through the stuff for the baby yesterday once again. Dom assembled the crib, so it's looking like it's around the corner. And
Crazy.
yeah, so we went through all the things that we have, and we decided to return the bathing tub. So I had to go with that back to the store, and now I'm searching for another one, which takes me hours. My decision making is not exactly like fast and easy.
But it's just a month away now. You said what, February, beginning of February is
Yeah.
the
So
estimate?
so the due date is 5th of February. We're currently midway through our 37th week. And yeah, it can be any day now, actually, to be honest.
That's true.
Right.
Especially when the baby's big. It's
Thank you for
I
the
don't mean
reminder.
to body shame people before they're born, but but I think it's a sign of health. In several traditions, the bigger you are, the healthier you are.
I mean, yeah, it's better chances for survival, right?
And what about you? How have you mentally, physically prepared?
Um,
Or does it happen organically? I don't know. I've never been pregnant, as you can imagine.
yeah. For me, it's the first time as well, right? So I'm still learning. I thought that I have read quite a lot of books just to have an idea, just to know what to do once the baby's here and how to prepare for the delivery. But that can hardly, I have still, there's like a million scenarios that can happen. And you can never know. So you just have to be ready to go with the flow and see what happens. It's just, in my point of view, it's good to be aware of certain checkpoints and things that you can do and you can ask for if you need them. So that's why I tried to educate myself and go for some courses and be ready in terms of, I don't know, we went for a course training first aid for newborns and resuscitation. So manipulation is like in general how to hold the baby, how to bridge positions safely, bathing and stuff like that. So not only I have went through that very scientifically, rigorously through books, but I have also tried to train that physically. So hopefully we will be, ready and safe when she's here. And we'll see how it goes.
For sure.
And for the whole thing, I have absolutely no idea. I mean, I'm still thinking about it like it's 2 weeks, Up until that point, I will be doing some yoga and some stretching and some exercises. And I eat a lot of supplements that are supposed to help with like ease delivery. And when I have a moment, when I think about it, like it can happen tomorrow, I'm like, Jesus, no, not yet. But yeah, that's the way it is. It can happen anytime at this point. And time flew, honestly. I have no idea where those 8 months are,
As
to be honest.
selfish as it might be, it would be phenomenal if it happened during this call.
No, don't even say that.
we would have it captured for all of eternity.
No, I need my husband to be at home when it happens, you know? I don't want to
You
rush
can
to the
call him.
hospital,
He's not that far away.
spend the
I mean, he's at the
hours.
hospital anyway. Or you're going to the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah, but like our plan, if everything goes well, is to spend most of the time of the first phase at home
Yeah.
together.
And
And
how? Because Dom is specializing in gynecology and obstetrics, and he's also the father. What is the? How do you divide and how do you organize the engagement? Is he going to be your obstetrician? Is he going to be your husband in the room? What is it going to be?
well, he's gonna be both.
But someone is he going to be carrying out the whole delivery?
I hope so.
Okay,
If all goes well, you know,
because
if it's,
I mean I'm sure someone else will have a shift on the day, so
yeah,
he would go and then he would just be like, okay, let me take over now. Okay,
yeah,
and he's okay with that
yeah.
because I'm not sure. I'm just trying to put myself in his place to think. Of course, I want to be the one doing it because then I know, okay, I can handle it and things like that. But it's two roles, right? That emotional support and also the medical part of it is two separate roles. So I was wondering how you guys have decided you wanted to go about that.
Um, yeah. From the two of us, he's probably the more like rational, less emotional half of the pair. So I'm pretty sure that he will be able to deal with it like in a cool, rational way. And I'm mostly like through the first phase, I know what to do, and we have some like checkpoints. So I would just need him to be there with me. And for the second phase, I think about it, you know, he would be telling me what to do anyway. So rather do it from the position of a doctor than just be standing by my head and telling me what to do while there's another person down there telling me what to do. You know, let's just, you know, if it's possible, um, yeah. And I will, you know, even now when I think about it, I feel like calm and safe knowing that like he will have the upper hand and he will know what's going on and he will oversee it. If it's a smooth, non-complicated delivery, then most of the work will be up to the, you know, assistants and
The
nurses. And
midwife, yeah,
so,
that's true. And I don't know. I know that it's a whole gradual process because you don't just go from 0 to 30 plus weeks pregnant. So it's hard to really draw that line between, what the difference is or whatever. But do you feel like your DNA, your genes have sort of turned into mode in any way, or do you feel the same as you did before you were, here?
interesting.
Because it must be there must be something that's I don't know. Or does it not begin till you actually have the delivery, maybe? Because
I I think so. I don't feel much of a change in terms like who I am. Um, I think like that comes mainly after when you have the child, when you have the little human being that is solely dependent on you and you have to take care of it. And then you're developing the bond and the attachment. Of course, we're conversing now and you know, there is some like interaction, but it's very different.
and can you
And
but when you say that, can you get an idea of her personality or that kind of thing already from the beginning? Because I can't even imagine what the relationship would be for a mother to actually have a baby as it grows inside of you. Like just based on the activity, or how do you mean that exactly?
well, yeah, she has a certain rhythm. I can rely on her to be active throughout certain phases of the day, before food when we're hungry, after food when we have eaten and she doesn't have enough space, being like, hey, this is very bothering me. Like I need to make my own space. And stuff like that. And yeah, it's just you can. I don't think that you can tell anything about. She's not too hyperactive, I would say. She's still quite kind to me, though sometimes in the evening when I try to fall asleep, I'm like, you should give it a rest. But I know that most of the day she doesn't have that much opportunity if I'm active to enjoy her freedom and movement, so I need to be patient. But yeah, otherwise, we'll just have to wait and see. I have just found out that she is taking after her daddy and she's gonna be quite like a well grown little
Yeah,
girl.
but I had no question about it because at the wedding, and I was like, I know that Dom was tall, but then I saw his family as well. Then I'm like, there's no way this baby is gonna be a small baby.
Yeah. Yeah, quite a lot of people are trying to like calm me down and by saying like you're not so small either, and I'm like, oh well, okay, there's 20 centimeters difference between us, and I have never imagined that I will. Well, yeah, I have never thought about it, to be honest. I've never given it much thought. Like throughout the whole pregnancy, she was right there on the average, and everything went as it should. So it's just the last ultrasound. I don't know, but they say it's genetics, that it's not my fault that I would be eating too much candy over
No,
Christmas.
it's not like diabetes or something. So,
So yeah,
um, yeah, but so this is I don't know. Obviously, it's so cool to me to have it your mentality kind of like recorded before you become officially a mother because I don't know in 10 years or something it might be totally different, right? How you feel and how you think.
yeah,
What are
it
your ex
definitely it
what
definitely should. I really hope that I will develop as a person and I will be elsewhere in 10 years. And of course, the experience of raising a baby should also change me to a certain
but what do you
extent.
expect? What do you expect from motherhood right now? What kind of a relationship do you expect to have with your kid?
I mean, she may see it one day, but in a healthy, loving way, I want to say that I want to approach it as an exciting experiment, to see a human being grow up and to see all the changes and be there and be the one to help shape it, and help her through all of the beginnings and important things to give her a good start. And then I'm also slowly, gradually, more and more thinking about the phase when it will not be so easy because the first half a year she's not really, you know, moving moving a lot or giving me her opinions back, other than crying. But then we will have the no period, and I more and more think about the world that she's gonna grow up in. And it's a huge challenge. It's a huge challenge. And it also, for me, it means that I will have to keep on learning and growing myself to be able to help her and guide her to a certain extent up until the point when she will be able to fully do it herself. So for me, it's like a new huge quest, like a completely different task, a new phase of life where you have to learn different kind of skills than those that you have been nurturing so far.
Does she have a name?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
it?
We're gonna call her Dora.
Okay.
Just yesterday, when we were sitting here and chatting, we were also contemplating whether to do like a longer version to allow her to choose later on. So there is an option of Dorothea or Theodora.
That's true. Okay. Yeah.
While
Both can be
whilst
Dora, right? Yeah.
my first choice is to just name her Dora, like keep it short and sweet. But then again, it makes sense, and it's maybe smart to give her more of a wiggle room if she decides that she wants something else.
I really like Theodora. I don't know why. You when you said it, I was kind of like, that's a really nice name because you can go several different ways because you can go Theodora, you can go Thea, you can go Dora, you can play with
Yeah,
it around a little bit. That's a really creative name, I think, and you don't really hear that name very often.
true. Yeah. When you think about it, you can do exactly the same with Dorothea.
Yeah,
Like,
it's the same.
yeah,
Yeah.
like so both of the options work. I'm just trying to think about it also in the way that she's gonna be stuck with that name for like first 20 to 30 years of her life, uh, in combination with the last name that we give her, which will be Karaskova.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I originally wanted the name to be short to be in balance with the long surname. But hey,
Go
what
big or
else?
go home. Make it powerful. Make it stand out. Make it powerful.
Okay, we'll
um,
see.
oh, that's great. She has a name. It's so different, right? When did you decide on the name, or when did you get to this point? Did you play around with different things and
I have basically I went through all the names and tried to pinpoint the
just
ones
all
that
the
I liked
names? Every
at at the beginning already.
okay.
So we had a few, like I had a few listed. Then we scratched out those that Dom didn't like, and we were left with two, which was Dora and Lily. And then when we were testing it out on our relatives and friends, then someone quite efficiently ruined Lily for us. So it was
Now,
decided.
yeah, I have to know how.
Because Dom has a cousin named Ella,
Okay.
and here they tend to like, those emotionally colored versions, tiny little Elinka,
Yeah, yeah.
Lilinka. So yeah, we're gonna have Elinka and Lilinka, and then we were like, no, we're not.
Uh,
No, we're not. Because the
Dora
whole
it is.
point of picking like a good name was no one can
Right.
uh, ruin it for her, to like. So we really wanted something that, kids are cruel in the early stages. So you don't want to give your child a name that someone else can use against them easily, in my point of view. We also had to eliminate those that we already had associated with like bad references from our lives. Then you're not left with much.
No, I
But
think
this
it's
one
a
was,
I think it's a beautiful name. I think you guys made the right choice.
yeah. Yeah, the more and more that we think about it and we say it out loud, the more right it sounds. So,
And when you say you have concerns about the world she's gonna grow up in, what do you mean?
oh man.
Without getting too depressing.
No, no, no. It's just like it's all of it, right? You're trying to keep tabs and keep up with everything that's happening. And you realize at certain points that it starts to be quite a bit, quite a load. And then the little kids, when they come as a blank sheet into this setup and they have to learn, they have a good capacity to soak it all in. But then you also have to be able to process it and pick out the stuff that is good for you and do the rational choices, do the good informed decision making, which comes also with a lot of experience and knowledge that you cannot just get on the internet because there's so much stuff that is just like a ballast. So for me, it's like it will be a lot of things that she will need to learn to navigate. And for me, it's a lot of uncertainty that I will still be able to understand it all and navigate it all myself and be step ahead all the time. That's going to be hard. And it's quite often probably not going to work. So she will be the first one to explore and to figure out whether it's a good thing for her or not and take the right steps. which for us, I feel like it was not so bad, you know. I grew up with a wire phone, and when we said with my friends, hey, let's meet at 3 o'clock by this tree in the middle of the village, that's what happened. And we were just running around a muddy street, not thinking about any kind of dangers or whatever. Now the place where I grew up looks completely different, and here I cannot just let the kid loose on the street without a certain preparation or oversight, or you know, it's different. It's just different. And then you have a lot of AI and a lot of sources of information and people just making up stuff. So for me as a person who loves data and economics, it gets hard to see how much of it is just like fabricated, or how much you have to filter out to get to the core of things.
And I know this is going to be a bit a long ways off because she has to get into that age where she starts reasoning and thinking and even having to. But I think it's cultivated from a very young age. How do you think? What do you think you have to do as a mother, as a parent, to give your kids the tools it requires to navigate the world? Because obviously, the things you actually teach, it's the knowledge that you impart is very okay. Fine, you can say okay the sky is blue, the metric system or whatever what you can teach and intellect wise is one thing, but the tools to sort of reason and perceive the world, your worldview, how do you how are you gonna plan? Are you planning on imparting that to your kid? If you
Like, um, obviously for me, even from what I have done so far in terms of my professional and personal life, communication is the key. Critical thinking and having the dialogue, so confronting your ideas and your views with those of others, and really trying to think about their merit. What can you learn from that? What it can bring you? So for me, it's just trying to lead the child towards the kind of attitude that you should be thinking about things if you have the luxury to have the time to think it through. Ask me if you don't know. If I don't know, that also happens. That's natural and normal. We will find a way to figure it out. And in that sort of manner, just be open and honest and discuss everything as much as I'm able to.
it's so difficult. Like I imagine. I mean, I hope in the next I don't know 5 years or whatever I'll be in that position to go. Okay, I'm ready to bring another human being into the world. But it's so daunting to think because it's so you. Especially, I can assume that for you would be the same, that you feel responsible to an extent for what's about to happen to this person as they come into the world, but then to a larger extent it's out of your hands as well. They have to develop on their own. They're at school most of the time and they come back and they have to also perceive the world, um, how they find right, but then um, I guess just becoming what you want them to become and being that yourself would be the whole subconscious cues that they need to build. Because I think most of the things that I learned from my parents weren't things that were taught. It was things that I've seen them do, and then I've sort of kind of internalized that and become a version of that or against that or something like that. So I guess focusing on yourself is at the end of the day still the right way to
Yeah,
go about it,
very
and
true.
being the model that they should mold themselves after or to learn from or against or so.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. It's like that's the things that quite often I will probably not be able to influence that much, because quite a lot of it is just impulses and instincts. So it happens in the times when
Yeah.
you're, I don't know, stressed or tired or whatever. But like in normal day-to-day life, I really hope that we are both um, at this point like fully developed, grown, wise adults, and we will strive to
Is there even
give
such
her.
a thing?
Huh?
Is there even such a thing, fully developed, wise, grown adults?
No, I mean, like, I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. No, no. But compared to like 5 years ago,
Yeah.
it's a huge jump. Compared to the age when they expected us to have kids, now I feel like we really can provide her with like decent role modeling and with a lot of information, like, or guidance on what we have learned throughout our lives, what works and what's beneficial.
Do you know, or do you have any aspirations? I mean, obviously you can't really put that on a child before it's even born. She's even born, but as to how you want her to, career wise, or to develop, or what you want her to become, or that kind of thing. Do you have any imaginations of that already, or no? Or is everything wide open?
I think I would love for everything to be wide open,
Okay.
to be honest. And I would love for her to explore many different things, as I have done throughout my life. I have gone like, oh my God, to different corners of the spectrum, right? Just searching for the stuff that I would enjoy, that would fulfill me, that I would be good at. And then ultimately it comes down, if you find something that you really enjoy, you can really get good at it. So for her, it will mean that she will have to try, and she will have plenty of options. Those options that we didn't have when we were kids. So it will be one of the difficult sifting through phases when she will have to try a lot to see what works for her and what doesn't, and what it is that she really wants to do. Because I cannot really, tell her or clearly tell her like
Yeah,
do
maybe
this, do.
maybe there's stuff that exists, that doesn't exist now in terms of
Yeah,
jobs and things like that.
exactly.
Yeah.
She will. She will. I don't know. Maybe she will be flying somewhere in the space. I don't know.
Hmm. I wouldn't advise for space travel. I don't know. Call me old fashioned, but maybe stay on Earth. There's plenty to explore on this beautiful
Yeah,
little planet.
that's true.
There's
That's
very little
true.
oxygen out there.
But you never know. In
Okay.
50 years, what happens?
Okay. I'm gonna ask you questions that she might want to ask you at
Oh no.
different points in her life, and then you tell me what you would tell her.
Okay, let's give it a shot.
Okay. So yeah, I want to start with what we were talking about. I don't know what to do with my life. Went to school. I studied. Now I'm confused. I don't know what to do with my life. What should I do? What should I become?
We will not let it go that far. Come on.
But
We will.
when you're in school, you're exploring things and stuff. But it's sort of like, there's many options. She's smart. She's done her grades. She has many options in front of her. She can do many things. She can go to law school. She can go to medical school. She can get into something creative, something, and she's like, what's my next step? I have a few months. I need to sign up for something or decide something. What would you say? What, from your heart? I don't mean it to be some analytical question about,
I
but
would probably start with trying to figure out what is it that she enjoyed throughout the time that she like spent also outside school. It doesn't have to be related to the subjects at school, but what is it that you enjoy, that you like, that excites you, that you would like to explore more, or you know, try to like. I really hope that we will be able to like afford to give her options in terms of hobbies and stuff outside school, so she knows that it's not just about that. So she can read her own books, go to I don't know, certain activities, be it sport wise or art or music or whatever. So she can figure out for herself whether there's something there that might be her passion. And then if not, we will just keep looking.
Okay.
Like it
Uh,
doesn't have to happen if we did not come across the thing that you feel like is the right one for you yet, then we will probably opt for a more general education, which I feel that is still more beneficial than if you already dive into something particular now. So let's keep your options open and search more. Let's keep looking.
okay. Um,
Depends on what phase that is, right? If it's after university, then damn, that's okay. Let's start some jobs and see what happens.
let's get out of the house.
Yeah, yeah. But if it's after elementary school, come on. I mean,
Okay.
like no one expects you to know what you want to do. Like, and you have options to continue the general education and figure it out throughout those 4 to 7 years. We'll just see.
Okay, and what if she wants to decide, okay, do I stay here? I want to travel, I want to go somewhere else, or do I even want to? I'm scared, I'm not sure. Um, should I go to another country? Should I stay here? Should I? That's another thing that you have to, because the world, I mean, it's already the way it is, but it's going to get even more globalized and, more open.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
as a mother, that's, that's a different, you're biased, you're going to be biased. If you're not biased now, you will be biased later.
I mean, I have done it myself
Mm-hmm.
quite early. I mean, during already elementary school, I went for like a week exchange to UK, and um, okay, my mom was not excited, but I think it helped me immensely in all sorts of things. So I would definitely encourage her. And if she doesn't want to try something like that with her, I don't know, school, then we will just do it together. Because we both love traveling. So I would do it like, if you want to know, you just have to try it. We cannot decide from home. We will just have to go and try it out. So let's firstly go some exploring vacation, then try a month, and then you go with a friend or whatever, or we have a friend in Germany, you know your uncle, so you can visit him and see what happens, whether you like it.
Spoiler alert, she will have the best time of all times. And then she will
See?
just stay in Germany. She'll be like, okay, I've decided I'm just going to stay
And
here
okay, okay,
now.
it's not that far. You can, as long as you're able to come home whenever you need us, go and explore, be independent.
What about, okay, she's at that age now. She has a lot of attention from the boys. There's a lot of guys. There's a nice guy who's really good at school, but I don't know, he's very shy. There's this sporty guy that does a lot of sports, and he has the attention from a lot of other girls. She doesn't know, she has plenty of offers on the table. What is
Mm.
your advice in that sense? What is
I would say probably go with your gut and take your time.
Okay.
Do not rush into anything. If he's really interested, he will be interested in a week, in two, in a month. So just test them out, to see what is it that you like. Do you like more the shy but nice guy, or do you enjoy the company of the other one that is like maybe fun, more exciting, but will not treat you so great? Try it out. See. Maybe you will find a perfect combination of like the both within the month, and you will decide for a third one, completely different one. So just
Yeah, and who knows if it's just gonna be boys and girls in 20 years? It could
yeah, it's
be
gonna be like, yeah,
it could be a
come
plant.
on.
It could be a bird.
Yeah, yeah. I
What
don't
if
want.
Dora wants to marry a bird?
Depends what kind of a bird.
Hmm.
Like turkey? No,
Yeah, of course. Never a
they
turkey.
are
Never a
creepy. They are
turkey.
like dinosaurs. Like those things are just ugh. But I don't know. Like There is probably some kind of a nice bird, I hope,
You'd be okay
somewhere.
with this.
Huh?
You'd be okay with this. It just as long as it's not a turkey, you'd be totally okay with entertaining the concept that your daughter wants to marry a bird.
I don't know. How can you ever like tell? You know, now it seems like something so surreal. But it doesn't have to. You know, you don't have to go that far for it to be a bird. It can be some other concept that we are not familiar with yet that
Could be
she might
a person
explore.
dressed as a bird, and then you graduate too.
I don't know.
It's gonna be a weird world. I mean, we can guess all we want, but I think it's just gonna be
Mhm.
the language that we speak is gonna be totally different in terms of society.
Exactly.
So,
Mhm.
so what kind of mother would you say you are or want to be? And I want to see what it ends up being later when we reflect in 20, like I don't know, 15 years or something, 10 years or something.
Hmm. What I want to be, I
What do you
like.
want her to see you as? That would be
Huh?
more.
Like, first of all, I want to be a loving mother for her to know that she's loved unconditionally and that, like, you know, there are no, like, expectations in terms of, like, what she needs to, has to be loved, that that's not the case, that she has my full support and guidance if she needs it. And that's it. I'm not going to be perfect. I'm not going to know everything. And I really hope that we will be able to accept each other for what we are.
So you, as a friend, and also because you need to have some level of authority, but you also need, that's going to be the tricky.
Of course, there have to be rules, you know,
Mm.
especially in the beginning when she's not able to realize what is like, I don't know, safe conduct, or what she's not familiar with what she's up against. You need to guide her in that sense. So there have to be rules. And she also has to, you know, learn how to navigate society as a whole, and for that, like, relationships one on one, navigating them, maintaining them, nourishing them is just very important.
What about when she's inevitably, there's always going to be, there's no relationship when there's no conflict and things. What about when she's angry at you and she thinks that you don't, it's not working, you don't get along, you're fighting and it's
I
a tough
don't
time?
Yeah.
What would you say to that?
Well, you have to always work with the particular situation, right?
Yeah, but
Like,
I feel
the
like,
conflict always arises from something. Either you forbade something that she really wanted to do, but then you did it in a wrong way. You have to explain why. Or, like, that's what I said at the beginning. For me, like, it's all about communication and having the dialogue for her to know that she's heard, that I know what she means, or I'm striving to. But we will have probably our differences, and it's okay. So it's fine to be angry with each other for a few hours and then get back to it and talk it through some more. So that's, we will probably be fed up with each other at some point. So we'll have to take a break, take a breath, and then get back to it.
I think that's the, when you grow up, when the relationship with you have that you analyze that you have with your family when you grow up is different from what you reflect on, because now I feel like the older you become, you sort of realize that, okay, it's not about the conflicts. For example, there's always a phase when you tend to have a lot of conflicts and you end up defecting and going, no, this is not working, we're not the same kind of people, or it gets really more deeper than just, she didn't let me do this, so I'm angry. It gets to a more generalized point of anger, and but then you forget the root of it, because it has to come from a deeper, more profound place of just love and acceptance, regardless of conflict, regardless of disagreements, at the end of the day, you're still her mother, and whatever happens, there's going to be a safety net that she can fall back into. And I feel like that warmth, you don't realize that till you're older. And I think that's the most important, that you, as parents, you can give that for a child, right? Because you think, I fought with this person so much, I called her so many names, I did so many things, and then still, when I need something, or when I'm in trouble, or I need some support, I still have a safety net. I think that's
Yeah, but
like the job.
that's something that you cannot explain or put into words. That's just shown in actions, and it has to be, for me, it has to be felt and it has to be realized, especially by the kid. So you cannot just like force them to see that. You have to strive to be there when necessary, have the patience when it gets difficult, and just hope that they will know that that's the case. You can obviously eventually you can tell them this is the
You can
case,
try.
but they still have to do their process on their own to realize that that's what they have as an
uh,
option if they are not feeling great.
she wants to know if she's at this time, she's 2 years old and she can't properly articulate her wants and needs, but as the uncle I'm translating,
Uh-huh.
she wants to know if she's gonna have a brother or sister.
Possibly, yes.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
cool.
I mean, that's the plan, but let's see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll try. She will definitely have a lot of friends. We are already working on that.
Okay. Just forming networks and socializing and networking with the baby before she's here. Oh
Yeah.
man, that's gonna be crazy time. What do you um have planned for the next 5 years? I mean, obviously raise a baby, but
Yeah.
generally, personally, relationship wise, personally, career wise, what do you think is gonna happen in 5 years?
Yeah.
She's gonna be five. Where are you gonna be?
I really hope that I'm going to be at least part-time working, either in marketing and PR, in some sort of a communication field, working with people, uh, trying to still educate and grow myself, and maintaining the crucial like inner circle and connections that I have now, or broadening it if it feels right. And we'll see. For me, at this point, my plan is to like continue studying and growing even throughout the time that we are together, and the growing up is like, or uh, work with her is very intense, but still she will be also having times of rest and times when we will try to also expose her to other children and other people, where I should focus on me not being stuck or taking steps backwards, but rather the other way around. So I have planned to continue, keep tabs on the good podcasts that I like, on the books that I have listed for myself, and they're still waiting in my bookshelves. I wanted to go back to school. I don't know whether that is going to be possible anytime soon, but we'll see.
What for?
Because I have done economics, so I don't have any degree in my particular specialization that I'm doing right now. So for me, it looked like it could be beneficial to refresh, or, to restart with at least a course, or trying to get like a distance education where I could get the solid basis to build on. Even though in marketing and PR it doesn't make much of a sense if you study independently, and you maintain a few sources and you keep up with the current trends, that's more important than actually knowing the
Getting a
theories
degree or
and
something. Yeah.
theory. Yeah, but we'll see. I have also like thought about that. Could be enjoyable. And I have also thought that I would enjoy teaching.
I think you'd be a good teacher.
You think so?
Yeah, I think
I
so.
think I think that could be something that I would enjoy. So I'm also thinking about that. Whether I should, you know, put that into the plan. Don't know whether, but that should probably happen within the next 5 years.
But
If
I think it would be, I don't know what you mean, particularly mean by teaching, like school teaching, or do you mean, because I think you'd be good at training. I think you'd be good at more creative teaching, not teaching based on a curriculum that's already structured, but more teaching
yeah,
based on what you've learned and what you've done, you know, like a teaching
so I have
position from your specific field.
yeah, so I have done a few individual classes, and it was fun. Though, like for a person like me, it also is quite demanding because I tend to spend too much time on preparation.
Yeah.
But the interaction was fun and it was very fulfilling. So yeah, that's another like avenue to explore, something to think about. Because for me, I feel like now is the phase when I did love my job. I enjoyed it very much. But at the moment when I realized that I have a way out soon, like it was such a huge relief that I can, basically like step aside and get away from the grind for a moment. Because it was the type of a job where every single day you can have like 100 of things that you can do and improve on and plan and, short term, long term, all the time. So many responsibilities, so many things. If you want to do it right, it never stops. And it can be like, it can feel like days are never long enough for so long. And I have actually been quite tired. I just did not realize. And when we got pregnant and I was like, okay, by the end of the year I will be going for a maternity leave. I was like, oh damn, that feels good. Knowing that past that point will not be my problem anymore. I can finish up the projects. I am in a good phase when I have a good team that I'm really proud of. We are doing a lot of projects that are really great, that have started well and are continuing and are on a good route. I have given it my all, which I'm like happy about, and I can step away and I can get a break and I think about the fact whether that's something that I want to do in the future or whether I want to modify the way I do it, like the position I take, or whether I want to do something else. Now might be the good time to, if you want to do something else, start working on it so you're ready in 2 years to jump into it, basically.
For sure. Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I think because I think you're the kind of person that doesn't stay stagnant for very long. So if you, I think it would be very different in maybe 2 to 5 years to see
Yeah.
where you end up and what you.
The potential problem is that I also do not half-ass anything. So I kind of think that when the baby comes, my full attention will be on doing that job 200%. That's what I'm a little bit afraid of. I need to like, you know, sort of
Yeah. But that's your most.
restrain myself not to go off rails, just trying to, because even now when I see my research and approach to it, I'm like, man, you're overdoing it, again. And Dom is like making fun of me. Are you going to be a doula, or do you plan on doing this professionally? That you're studying all of this stuff, and I'm like, no, I just want to, do a good job. I,
Yeah.
I I just want to give her what I can.
Yeah, like don't leave any stone unturned. And
Yeah.
what if some? I mean, there's obviously there's things that happen what you can't really prepare for, but you don't want to blame yourself for not being prepared in the way you could have been prepared. I
You're not.
understand.
You're never ever gonna know or be able to do 100%, but you can get pretty close if you
You can
try, or
try.
at least
Yeah.
you can know that you have done your best um, to learn and to know
Yeah.
that those are gonna be. But I'm still working on my Spanish. I do you remember the goals that we set for each other?
I wanted to
Uh,
ask you about your Spanish because you were said you were starting Spanish a while ago. I think this was when I moved. Was it when I moved?
yeah,
Yeah, 2 years ago, maybe.
yeah, yeah. So I have what, nearly 500 days streak on Duolingo now.
Okay.
I do like half an hour or an hour a day,
Mm-hmm.
and I have bought on our honeymoon. I have bought a Spanish book. That was one of the objectives that we when we were setting them out. I had there. I will read my first Spanish book.
Mm-hmm.
So at least I bought it, and I'm a few pages in. I see that as a win. So those are some of the things that I wanna like keep working on, and that I hope that will like force me to do also something else than just take
Okay, I
care
have
of the
to.
baby.
I have like I can talk to you for like 15 hours, um, and but the problem is that the people that are gonna come and take my washing machine are gonna show
Uh
up
huh.
any minute, and I don't want to end it without just wrapping it
Yeah.
up. So I
Yeah.
would do that 5 minutes earlier than just immediately just disappearing and selling a washing machine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
But I
But I
wanted
also
to.
have like a ton of questions for you. So
Yeah, but I
once
wanted.
you
That's the thing. I
once
wanted to
you
ask you
what? Yeah.
if we can do this again. But I because there's millions of other things. Because this one I wanted to make sure that we talked about the baby, and I wanted to make sure that we can have things to look back at when she's here and she's older and stuff. So I feel like I think it's going to be fun to listen back to this later. But then there's like 1,000 different things. We talk about all kinds of things, and
Yeah.
because we think similarly when it comes to the whole planning and productivity thing. Because there's stuff that I'm doing that I want to, that hopefully helps what I want to do, and there's things that you're doing that helps what you want to do, and to compare notes to see, what works and that kind of stuff I wanted to do as well, and also, yeah, just all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
It's always great to talk to you.
Likewise. We haven't done this for a while as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
We didn't have much of a opportunity.
Did you listen? Did you end up listening to the any minute? I might just disappear, so don't. Just warning. But did you listen to the Schlock one, or because that was so random? I didn't expect to talk to him because it's one of these people that I knew just superficially, and I thought he was interesting and I wanted to talk to him, but then he was gone, and then I just texted him randomly to ask if he wanted to do it, and he was okay with it. It was early stage. It was in the beginning. I don't even remember what it was at that point. But yeah, I thought it's interesting to have now because I don't know, maybe I'll listen to it in like many years and see or compare it to what Schlock's doing at the moment. There's like, yeah, there's some interesting ones in there, and I wanted to do one with you for a long time, but I didn't quite know what it was at the time, you know,
Uh huh. Uh huh.
because obviously you can talk about random things, and but with you I would talk about, we already talked about a lot of stuff and we discuss a lot of things obviously off camera, but yeah, I think this was a good point to go, okay, this is a big chapter in your life, coming up,
Yeah.
to bookmark somehow.
True. True. Everything is upside down at this point, and at the same time, it happens so easily and naturally.
Yeah, I mean that
I
those are the best kinds of things.
I thought that I would, think it through much more, being who I am. But then, like, 1 year ago, I would have never, 2 years ago, I would have never, 3 years ago, I would have never, 4 years ago, I would have never, 5 years ago, I would have never, 6 years ago, I would have never, 7 years ago, I would have never, 8 years ago, I would have never, 9 years ago, I would have never, 10 years ago, I would have never, 11 years ago, I would have never, 12 years ago, I would have never, 13 years ago, I would have never, 14 years ago, I would have never, 15 years ago, I would have never, 16 years ago, I would have never, 17 years ago, I would have never, 18 years ago, I would have never, 19 years ago, I would have never, 20 years ago, I would have never, 21 years ago, I would have never, 22 years ago, I would have never, 23 years ago, I would have never, 24 years ago, I would have never, at some point we were like, well, if it happened, it wouldn't be so bad. We'll just see. And I was like, yeah, of course, we'll be trying for a year and then maybe, hopefully. And within 2 months, like, hey, so I'm pregnant. We were so happy that it went so easily,
Yeah.
because quite a lot of people at our age are trying hard, and we were just very lucky. And then from the very beginning, uh, all was going well. Like, she's healthy, even like for my age, all of the risks were quite low. We are both coping well. I'm like, throughout the whole pregnancy, I'm doing quite well. I wish I exercised more, but looking back at it, it wasn't even so bad.
I mean, you look
So
the same from the belly up. It's not like you
yeah,
haven't
you
gained
haven't
weight.
yeah, you haven't seen the rest, right? So
Wait, we need to go widescreen. We need to go widescreen. We can't.
no, it's not so bad. I was very afraid that I will like let myself go and then I will be dealing with like 20 extra kilos. But so far so good, and I'm already planning like how to get back into shape afterwards, so I can still be like, I'm 32, so uh you can feel like it's not as it used to be, and then you still want to run around with your kid, and you want to enjoy all the activities. So I really strive to keep myself in shape, to enjoy this to the fullest, to have fun with it as well.
I think that's one of the most important things that we have to focus on because, I mean, who knows what's gonna show up in terms of like, health problems and stuff based on our lifestyles and what we eat and all these things. Who knows how we're gonna be in when we're 70 and stuff. But just trying our best to just live as healthy for as long as possible. Because nowadays I think you can get away with being 70 years old and still active, healthy, feel good, look good. It's possible. As crazy as it sounds at 70 years old. But I think if you put some effort into it now and you have that plan, and then obviously if nothing else sidetracks it, you can get away with that. And that means more time with your kids, more time with your grandkids.
Yeah.
So,
I have a great podcast that I wanna recommend to you
mhm.
if you're listening to it already. Do I do it now or do I just send it to you later?
What is it? Maybe I know it already.
It's from Zoe. It's focused on nutrition. I have it in my list. Interesting podcasts. Wait, Zoe, Science and Nutrition.
Uh huh.
It looks like this. Can you see it?
Okay. So is it like what do you eat, that kind of stuff, or why eat what you eat, that kind of thing, or?
It has different perspectives on like healthy lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
One of the episodes was on inflammation and like good amount of it, bad amount of it, how to avoid it, how you can influence it with your nutrition, your food. Then, yeah, the one that I liked was the concise episode on like the essential strategies for healthy lifestyle. That was, on the verge of the year when you have a lot of those goals for the next season. So they have done like a mashup of previous episodes, looking at different aspects of healthy lifestyle and taking the most crucial messages from that. That's also good. One of those that I have listened to was on gut microbiome, and now he had there an expert on movement, basically, on like how to stay in shape, and how even like marginal changes in your in the amount of movement that you get each day can significantly prolong your life, and the quality of it will be alleviated, or
I, I
improved.
I think it's the whole nutrition industry is so oversaturated nowadays, and I think it's very important to have an idea of what you consume, and that you need to avoid the processed and artificial things. But it's so difficult to actually, even as a doctor especially, it's so difficult to pinpoint, because when people, you want to know about specific diets and specific regulations and things like that, it's so difficult to really pick one thing, because I always go back to the whole evolutionary part of it. I just think more on the sense of how have we evolved for the last 200,000 years, when we didn't know the specifics about what we were supposed to eat and not eat and things like that. Whole foods, raw foods,
Yeah.
a mixed diet with a lot of movement, a lot of mobilization and stretching and things like that, just to get the body activated. The mechanical movements that we used to do as we evolved, like hanging and squatting and those kind of things, and also just exposure to nature and the environment and that kind of stuff. I think once you do those things and you avoid the processed foods, like the highly processed foods, and you maybe fast a little bit, I think when you do all those things, then you've covered sort of what you can cover in terms of health. And the rest is obviously the things that you expose yourself to, the radiation, the air, um, the stress that you expose yourself to, and also your genetics. That's going to have its way at some point. But it's so hard. The more information we have, the harder it gets to decide on what you want to do, because every 5 years something else comes out and you're like, whoa, I've been doing it wrong for the last 5 years. But when you go back
Yeah,
to evolution,
that's what I
it's,
just wanted to say. That
yeah.
like for some people who are just starting with the topic, it can be overwhelming. But it comes down to like several take home points that actually make perfect sense
Yeah.
once you have the background story and the related information. And you know how I like research and like research based discussions. The fact that this podcast is done with professionals, with people who dedicated their lives to this area of expertise and have also done some studies themselves, and know that what they are talking about. They're also incorporating the evolutionary point of view as well. So it's just building on the knowledge that you already have and taking it a little bit further when you feel like you're ready for that.
Yeah.
So you can still like learn and deepen the knowledge, even though that you have the general idea what it is good for you. And I really enjoy listening to these because there is always a new perspective that helps you with understanding that it doesn't have to be overwhelming or difficult. It can actually come very easily and naturally.
Yeah.
If you try to understand, if you want to give it the time and listen.
I'll check it out.
So
Zoe, you said, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
check it out.
So I really enjoy listening to that one now. I also listen to TED Health.
Yeah,
Some of
TED,
them are good. Some of them are like
I
not
like
so.
TED because it brings in people with very because it's difficult, because one, when you get into a field and you dedicate yourself to that field, you've sort of subscribed to it, and you've said, okay, this is the way, and you've explored it to the extremes of exploration. It doesn't mean that that is the right thing, but you get exposure to a person that has decided that that is the right thing. So
Yeah.
he's put in the effort to go to the extremes of it. So you can see, okay, this is what I get out of it if I dedicate myself to it. But then I can also listen to someone else that went to a completely other extreme and has a different experience from it.
Yeah.
So I find that interesting, because it's not really from a group that would promote a uniform set of things that could be funded or whatever, but it's different people that are funded, but they're completely separate from each other. So I
Yeah.
find that interesting as well. Yeah, I think, yeah, for finding out information for yourself, and also what works for you, because you might try something and you might think it doesn't work at all. I think that's very important, just to be in tune with how you feel and how you respond to whatever you try. Don't just do something that you see is, there's no universal health when it comes to most of the things. There are some general rules everyone should follow, but when it comes to specific diets and stuff, it's very individual. So you should kind of just like listen to your body, I think. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah, I'll check it out. I'll definitely check it out. And now I have to sell a
Yeah.
washing machine. Let's do this again. I haven't started at the new place yet. I'm not sure when I'm gonna start. Maybe next week. But so I'm just enjoying some time off now. I'm just absolutely having a blast going through this trauma of getting rid of all this rubbish from my old apartment. This is how I'm spending my vacation time. But yeah, still, maybe I'll have a few more days off and relax a little bit as well.
Talk about pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, huh?
Oh, hate it. But it's every unpleasant experience forces you to learn. So like you just gain a new skill, you learn, you move on, and then it's all about stories. You just accumulate stories so that when you die you have plenty, or before you die you have plenty of stories to tell. You know, if everything went according to plan, if everything went smoothly, then there's nothing memorable, there's nothing to tell.
That's true. That's true. You need some excitement in your life, right?
Yeah, especially people that plan. I've sort of gone out of that shell a little bit because I was very much into just planning and just everything research and reading and,
Structure. Yeah.
but then I've sort of like taken a, I'm still that person, but I've taken a foot off the gas and sort of laugh at myself a little bit when things don't go according to plan. I'm excited about it because I'm thinking, okay, so that was my plan. It didn't go according to plan, or that's what I thought I knew, but turned out to be something else. But now I get to learn, and if I already knew it, then what's the point? I don't learn anything. So
Yeah.
so it's also nice.
Great. Great.
Okay.
You have to tell me all about it, like the new place, you
I
know.
will.
And there's so many things that I don't know about you these days. So
There's a lot of
like,
things I can't tell on camera.
exactly. So that's why I was like, can I ask questions as well? Should probably, you know, save the juicy ones for after the recording. But like, I want to know everything. We need to catch up properly.
We will catch up. We will catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just said that you were having vacation of sorts. So
Yeah. If I didn't have to actually be here because of the going to the embassy and stuff like that, I could have actually had an actual vacation and gone somewhere and relaxed a little bit. But now that I have to,
here.
yeah,
You
exactly.
could-
I mean, that's my only vacation spot. I've been to like so many times, um, and I would have come back this time as well before I started the new job. But then just because I have to come empty my apartment here, I have to get my documents sorted. I have to be here in town, accessible. That's the only
Yeah.
problem. But yeah, I'm sure I'll have my next trip to Prague is not too far away.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay. Let's do some messaging then in the mid.
Keep me
in the mid-
posted. Keep me posted as you're heading to the hospital. Text me. Okay. It's happening. It's happening.
Okay, in between contractions. God, it's happening, and it hurts like hell.
Contract, and then you just stop typing, and I'll get the point.
Yeah.
Or just scream really, like just type a bunch of ahs or something, and then I don't know.
Yeah. I can just take you pictures, you know, like of a distorted face in a lot of pain,
Oh,
and then
God.
you will have a clear idea
No.
what's
I
happening.
wish you all the best, like all the health and wellness and love and positive energy that I can muster. I wish that to you, and I hope I know everything will go well, everything will go smoothly, and then we'll do a proper catch up as well.
Yeah. All right. Looking forward to that.
Okay.
You hang in there. Enjoy the transition. I hope all goes well, and I hope to see you soon.
All right. Bye.
With all of the questions. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Go!